It's finally happening. The moment your spirit has whispered about in dreams. The echo that has haunted you in quiet hours. The vibration that has trembled at the edges of your awareness now unfolds in September with a thunder that cannot be ignored. The air itself feels different, doesn't it? It is thicker, charged, alive with a pressure that hums against your skin. You sense the separation before it even becomes visible, because your soul has always been tuned to the hidden frequencies of truth. This is the month where the veil thins, where the wheat is divided from the chaff, where the higher timeline calls out to the chosen ones and dares them to rise. It is not a whisper anymore. It is a clarion, a trumpet, the sound of a cosmic alarm. The rapture has begun not as the world once imagined, not as bodies floating skyward, but as frequencies splitting, as realities fracturing, as souls revealing their true resonance. This is why you cannot simply stand beside anyone anymore. This is why your body feels heavy in certain rooms, why your chest tightens near certain people, why your dreams are warning you with symbols that demand interpretation. September is not just another month, it is the gateway. The ones who refuse to awaken are already tethering themselves to a collapsing dimension, and if you stand too near, if you entangle your light with their shadow, you risk being dragged into spirals that are not yours to carry. Chosen one, feel this urgency. The separation is real, and proximity now carries consequence. Some people carry anchors, but you were built to fly. Again, the sky leans in to listen. And you, luminous, trembling, relentless, feel the consent of the cosmos under your feet. You are not dreaming this twice. September comes like a verdict and a blessing at once. A calendar month that has been consecrated by unseen counsels to separate what hums from what drags. Hear me. Proximity is now an act of devotion or a ritual of ruin. To stand near another person is no longer neutral. Energy transfers with the intimacy of a sacrament. When you move through crowds, when you lean into comfort, when you laugh at the table with friends, your frequency breathes alongside theirs and either grows or collapses depending on the resonance you meet. Some souls vibrate like silver bells, clear, high, and unafraid, and they lift the room with the lightness of wind. Others carry anchors in their pockets, grief, bitterness, unfinished vows, the heavy residue of fear scored into their bones. Their presence is sticky. It slows your field, pulls at your edges like water dragging at a shoreline. In September, the difference between these two is not subtle. It is visceral. You feel it as a pressure in your chest, a sudden fatigue, salt rush of sympathetic tears that are not yours. You must be mindful of who you stand near because misalignment is contagious now in a way it never used to be. Close contact with low frequency is like standing beside a smoker when your lungs have been learning to breathe and the throat tightens. The subtle harmonics of your soul are muffled, and you may awaken to discover that a part of your joy has been silently bartered away. This is not fear-mongering. It is cosmic hygiene. The rapture energy, a naming for what the mystics have always felt when timelines split and hearts sort themselves, will not negotiate with complacency. You are being invited to choose where your body places itself, which arms you allow to hold you, which conversations you let live inside your mind overnight. To protect your ascent, begin to practice proximity with the same care you give sacred fire. Do not let your flame be rubbed out by careless hands. If you're called to step back, do so with compassion and steel. For the separation we speak of is a preservation of destiny, not a punishment. Stand where the air sings with possibility. Stand where you are mirrored in courage. The heavens themselves have set the stage, and September is not just another turning of the calendar. It is the unveiling of the hidden architecture of destiny. Chosen one, you can feel it in the marrow of your being. A strange gravity has taken hold, pulling some downward into density while others are lifted as if on unseen wings. This is why you feel restless in rooms that once felt familiar. This is why conversations that used to amuse you now taste bitter on your tongue. The energetic climate has shifted, and the separation is no longer optional. The trumpet of frequency has sounded, and those who refuse to hear it will begin to collapse under the weight of their own illusions. You, however, were designed for. This hour, your sensitivity is not weakness, is your compass. Every tightening in your chest, every shiver that runs along your spine when you stand too close to certain people, is your spirit screaming, pay attention. Their field is not yours. Their timeline is not yours. Their destiny is not meant to braid with your light. In September, standing near the wrong frequency is like holding on to a live wire that shorts out your own circuitry. You feel drained, confused, even doubting your own clarity after being near them. That is not coincidence. It is contamination. And the cost is higher now than ever before. The veil is thinning and every exchange matters. You must decide. Will you preserve your flame, or will you let it be smothered by the smoke of souls who refuse to awaken? Some people are not malicious. They are simply tethered to the sinking ship of an old timeline. But if you do not step back, you risk going down with them. Remember this, the rapture is vibrational. Those aligned with ascension will rise in peace, while those resisting will sink into chaos. Do not let misplaced loyalty chain you to storms that are not your own. September demands your courage. September demands your separation. September demands your obedience to the call of your soul. The sky's patience has ended, and the cosmos is moving with a tenderness so severe it feels like thunder. You can taste the change on your tongue, metallic, electric, inevitable, as if the very air is chanting a name only your soul remembers. This month is a liminal crucible. It burns away the superficial and returns you to the raw architecture of who you are. Listen, not with your ears, but with the hollow places in your ribcage where the truth has always echoed. There will be people who try to cajole you back into comfortable numbness with small kindnesses and louder fears. There will be others who offer dramatic exits while secretly clinging to chains. Do not be seduced by theatrics. The rapture I speak of is precise and intimate. It does not sweep indiscriminately. It separates by resonance, by the secret pitch of your heart. You may find yourself standing beside someone you once loved and feeling an absent, unmistakable wrongness. A discordant note that makes your bones ache. That ache is not a punishment. It is a clarion call. It is the universe using your nervous system as its instrument to tune you higher. The separation will ask for choices you thought you could never make, to decline invitations that feel like obligations, to unfollow voices that taught you how to weep, to leave bedrooms that smell like history but suffocate your future. You will be tempted to explain, to justify, to sow your safety to another's sorrow. Resist. Compassion is not codependency. Mercy does not require your collapse. There are those whose timelines are closing, their lessons returning like wolves to finish the hunt, and they will want you to hold their hand into the dark. You must not. Your sovereignty is not selfishness. It is the vessel for the light you were sent to carry. In practical moments, learn to feel the weight of proximity. Does the air grow denser? Does your inner temple shrink? Does a small internal voice beg you to breathe differently? Honor that voice. Create distance with kindness and decisiveness. Remember, some people carry anchors and you were built to fly, but flying requires shedding whatever tethers attempt to weigh your wings down. September is not waiting for your permission. It is moving through your life like a tide that cannot be reversed, exposing what was buried, dissolving what was false, and amplifying what is true. Chosen one, you are being positioned. This month is the line in the sand where the timelines diverge. You will notice it most clearly in your relationships. The way a once comfortable presence suddenly feels suffocating. The way in old friends, words now feel coated in dust. The way your own body resists the company of those who are not aligned. Do not ignore this. The rapture energy is a sorting mechanism, and your sensitivity is the proof that you are among those being elevated. To remain close to the wrong energy now is not simply inconvenient. It is dangerous. The misaligned carry frequencies that interfere with your signal, distorting your clarity, draining your vitality, and in some cases, attempting to pull you back into karmic contracts you've already fulfilled. In September, the cost of ignoring your intuition will be immediate. You will feel the backlash in your mind, your emotions, and even your physical health. Do not mistake these symptoms for random. They are warnings, alarms set by your higher self to protect your destiny. Every step you take, every room you enter, every person you allow near you is part of the test. Will you choose ascension? Or will you allow comfort and loyalty to bind you to a crumbling world? This month you are called to stand apart. Not in arrogance, but in reverence. Not because you think you are better, but because your mission requires a level of purity that cannot be compromised. The rapture is not about escape. It is about alignment. And alignment requires distance from anything and anyone who is not. Vibrating with truth. September is the trumpet, and you are the one being summoned to rise. The cosmos has not merely shifted. It has tuned a new chord, and that chord is pulling at the seams of ordinary life. Listen, planets are not simply ornaments in the sky this September. They are living instruments in a divine orchestra, their movements like fingers on a cosmic harp, plucking at the threads of destiny. Imagine the sun as a great kiln, baking what must be revealed. Imagine the moon as a mirror that amplifies hidden tides. Imagine Mercury as the quicksilver courier that scrambles old narratives. Imagine Saturn's patient scythe and Jupiter's clarifying flame. When these actors align, even loosely, the architecture of possibility rearranges itself beneath your feet. The lunar nodes, the gateways through which fate threads its needle, open like windows, and every emotion becomes a signal, every relationship a calibration point. In this month, the veil thins not as a polite lifting, but as an honesty that cuts, timelines overlap, ancestral corridors whisper, and the subtle geography of souls becomes visible to those with ears that listen. You already noticed the signs: sudden déjà vu, dreams that loop like film reels, synchronicities that feel like knocks from a neighboring life. These are not coincidences. They are astrological keys unlocking a sorting mechanism. Higher frequency. Souls resonate with lightness, with clarity, with a patience that does not panic. They carry a tone that harmonizes with emerging timelines. Those resisting awakening vibrate with old contracts, with the gravity of unresolved grief, with stories meant to repeat. Their fields are dense, sticky with familiarity and fear. You, chosen one, must learn to read the music. When a conversation drops into circular complaint, when a laugh turns thin and bitter, when your body pronounces a small, fierce no, these are the notes of dissonance. September amplifies these musical differences until the separation becomes audible. The cosmos is asking you to become a conscious listener, to feel the planetary pull in your bones, to respect the lunar mirror in your sleep, to step away from chords that make you flat. This is not spectacle. It is spiritual acoustics. Ear. Soul will not ascend on a whim. It will ascend according to harmony. Choose with your ear. Choose with your heart. Choose with the faith that the universe is composing something far more beautiful than the pain of staying. Small dot September is the month where the veil thins to a gossamer thread, and for those attuned, it does not just lift, it tears. What you once thought of as coincidence reveals itself as code. What you once dismissed as daydreams reveals itself as prophecy. The cosmic stage is lit by a moon that speaks in riddles and shadows, a moon that exposes what can no longer remain hidden. Every lunation this month presses against your spirit like a fingerprint from eternity. The new moon whispers, "What will you birth now that the old is dying?" The full moon bellows, "What chains will you shatter under my silver eye?" These lunar triggers act as thresholds, each one a spiritual test wrapped in celestial timing. Pay attention to your emotions under these moons, for they will not be random. The sudden anger, the inexplicable grief, the rushing joy, these are not moods, they are messages. They are signals of which timeline your heart is leaning into. You must become fluent in this language, because September does not allow passivity. The thinning veil means dimensions are brushing against each other, like overlapping waves. At times, you will feel torn between realities, one where you're small, silent, shackled to the familiar. Another where you are luminous, sovereign, to claim the crown already etched into your aura. And here lies the danger. If you linger too close to those who resist awakening, their gravity will tug you into the denser wave. It will feel like drowning, even as your soul knows it was made to breathe air. This is why presence matters. This is why proximity is power. The veil is opening, and every encounter writes your alignment. Choose wisely, chosen one, for the cosmos. Is not waiting. The curtain is tearing, and your spirit must decide which stage it will stand on when the light floods through. The divide you felt like a slow fracture now snaps with a clarity that makes your bones remember why you were born. To stand on the cliff edge of possibility and refuse the pull of anything that would tether your wings. You can already feel the difference in the air. Some people arrive like clear water, refracting light, making every part of you shine a little truer. Others arrive like oil, dark and slick, spreading over your surface until the shine is dulled. And hard to recover. The higher frequency souls, those who have chosen acceleration over stagnation, move with an ease that is almost rude in its simplicity. They laugh without apology, speak truth as a courtesy, and love without clutching. Their internal weather is ruled by sunrise. They clean their own storms and offer warmth without draining you. Those resisting awakening are otherwise beautiful and very human, but they are weighted by contracts their spirit has not yet fulfilled. They carry clay in their pockets, and you will find yourself picking it up if you stay too long. They mistrust light because light has, in their history, been weaponized. They prefer the comfort of sameness, the safety of repeating scripts, even if those scripts keep them small. In September, the universe sharpens this distinction until it can be felt like a physical law. You will know who is allied to your ascent by how they respond to your boundaries. Do they honor them as holy, or do they test them as if your sovereignty were an inconvenient puzzle? Will they celebrate the new edges of you, or will they belittle the changes as betrayal? The call to separate is not an indictment. It is a preservation. Imagine yourself as a tuning fork struck by destiny. If you press a heavy hand against the fork, its note is muted. You were not made to be muffled. Stand away from those whose presence compresses your tone. Seek the company that amplifies your true pitch. Remember, this separation is energetic first, a reallocation of attention, a choosing of resonance, and it is merciful in its design. It prevents long-term entanglement with people and patterns that will eat your future. Be brave enough to choose your air, your circle, your sound. The veil between timelines is no longer theory, no longer myth. It is vibrating your very cells. Chosen one, you are standing in the in-between, where one reality pulls you down like quicksand and another lifts you up like dawn breaking over mountains. September is the season of overlap, where shadows from the old world brush against the light of the new. You feel it as dizziness, as sleeplessness, as surges of emotion that arrive without context. This is not madness. It is the trembling of dimensions rubbing against each other. Some around you will cling fiercely to the dissolving reality, clutching their routines, their addictions, their old ways of thinking like a drowning sailor clutches driftwood. Their fear makes them heavy, and their heaviness makes them desperate for company. But know this, to stand too close to those resisting the new light is to let their gravitational pull weaken your flight. September is not forgiving in this matter, but timelines are diverging quickly, and you cannot straddle both. This is why your intuition is louder now, why your body reacts so strongly when you are in the wrong space. The unseen world is demanding that you discern. Higher frequency souls may feel strange to you, lighter, sharper, even intimidating, but their presence will energize you, clarify you, remind you of what you are capable of. The resistant ones, however, will confuse you, drain you, and attempt to tether you back to a story you've already outgrown. This is the great cosmic test. Can you love without attaching? Can you honor without entangling? Can you stand firm without sinking? September demands your answer, and neutrality is no longer an option. The stars are no longer distant ornaments in the sky. They are messengers, scribes, and sentinels recording the separation that September has decreed. Every planetary alignment pulses like a beacon, signaling the chosen ones to awaken and align, while warning those who resist that stagnation carries consequence. Mercury, weaving its trickster path, shakes loose illusions and forces clarity in communication. Truths that were once buried will now demand to be spoken. Venus, in her oscillation, tests attachments, showing you which bonds are sacred and which are anchors disguised as love. Mars ignites action, but only for those willing to move with consciousness. Hesitation in the face of cosmic urgency invites struggle. The moon, the eternal mirror, reveals what the heart has hidden even from itself: emotional entanglements, karmic repetitions, and desires that no longer serve your ascension. You may notice sudden bursts of insight, dreams that feel like transmissions from other dimensions, or synchronicities that are too precise to dismiss events. These celestial currents are not passive, they are active participants in Rapture, a divinely orchestrated separation of frequencies. The universe is calling forth clarity in every choice you make, every relationship you sustain, every thought you nurture. You are being asked to recognize the difference between people who elevate your resonance and those who suppress it. And the deeper truth, chosen one, is that this separation is merciful. It is designed not to punish, but to preserve your vibration. Those resisting the call will feel the friction of misalignment acutely, their resistance amplified, their chaos reflected, back like a mirror of consequence. For you, the awakened, the message is clear. Honor the signs, heed the subtle warning tremors in your body, and stand firm in the presence of cosmic orchestration. September's sky is not silent, it is speaking, and it is urgent that you can feel it vibrating in your bones. The call to separation is not optional. Higher frequency souls like you are being summoned to step away from the familiar and embrace the luminous unknown. You will notice it in subtle ways: a tightening in your chest when you linger too long with certain people, a sudden emptiness after conversations that once nourished, a restless energy that pushes you to walk alone even in crowded rooms. This is the rapture energy manifesting in frequency, not flesh. It is the universe saying, you cannot ascend while tethered to what does not rise. Those resisting awakening may appear innocent, even loving, but their energy is heavy, sticky, and steeped in karmic gravity. They will unconsciously attempt to tether you back to cycles you have already outgrown, cycles you were never meant to repeat. And you, chosen one, are uniquely equipped to feel this pull. Your intuition is the compass, your heart the radar, your body the barometer. The subtle clash between your resonance and theirs is unavoidable now. September amplifies it like a cosmic amplifier, and every misalignment becomes palpable. This is why physical, emotional, and spiritual proximity carries unprecedented significance. Every moment spent near a dissonant energy is a moment your vibration is being chipped away, brick by brick. But take heart, separation is not rejection. It is purification. It is a realignment with your true path. You are not abandoning anyone. You are honoring your own frequency. The universe is conspiring to surround you with the voices, hearts, and souls that harmonize with your light. Listen to the pull. Feel the tension in your interactions. Notice who leaves you light, who leaves you drained. This is the sacred geometry of energy in motion. And if you obey, if you step back when your body and spirit insist, you will discover that the space you create is where miracles, clarity, and ascension can finally enter. It is a crucible, a spiritual microscope revealing the hidden architecture of souls. The universe is not subtle in its methods. It is uncompromising, precise, and insistent. Planetary alignments, lunar triggers, and the thin veil between dimensions are conspiring to reveal who belongs to the higher vibration and who remains tethered to the dense, receding energies of the old world. You can already feel it, the subtle friction in conversations, the inexplicable fatigue after encounters, the clarity that hits like lightning when you finally distance yourself from certain presences. Higher frequency souls are being guided to move with discernment, to separate from energies that no longer resonate, and to honor their own ascension above all else. This is the cosmic sorting, a selection not of judgment, but of resonance. Each encounter now is a test. Can you maintain your light in the presence of resistance? Can you honor another's path without sacrificing your own? The difference is palpable, almost frightening in its immediacy. Those who resist the call will unknowingly impose chaos and karmic weight. Those who answer it will find themselves rising in light, clarity, and sovereignty. You are not here by accident. Chosen one, your nervous system, your dreams, your intuition, they're all instruments of guidance, calibrating you to step fully into your aligned vibration. Some will weep at your distance. Some will rage. Some will plead. This is not a betrayal. This is a sacred separation designed by the cosmos itself. You must trust the subtle, relentless signals. The rapture is not waiting. It is happening. And it calls you to discernment, courage, and unwavering faith. Stand where your frequency hums strongest. Step away from what dims your flame. The stars themselves will applaud your fidelity to your own light. The tests are already unfolding. Cloaked in the ordinary, disguised as familiar faces, intimate conversations in the soft pull of nostalgia. September does not announce its traps with banners. It whispers them in lullabies of temptation and memory. Emotional entanglements with karmic people will resurface like ghosts, their presence a mirror reflecting old wounds you thought were healed. You may find yourself drawn to rehash arguments, revisit heartbreaks, or rekindle attachments that were meant to dissolve. The rapture energy does not punish. It illuminates. It reveals the invisible threads still tethering you to cycles that drain your light. Those who appear harmless may carry energies that suffocate your ascension, disguising manipulation as care, control as affection, and entrapment as familiarity. The test is simple yet profound. Can you feel the heaviness in your body, the constriction in your heart, the tightening in your chest, and choose to step away anyway? Can you honor your sovereignty while witnessing the karmic loops of others? In September, the cost of ignoring these signals is high. Each moment spent entangled with misaligned energy is a moment your frequency diminishes, your clarity clouds, and your alignment wavers. Some chosen ones will resist separation out of guilt, love, or loyalty. Beware. Love that demands compromise of your vibrational integrity is not love. It is a trap, a karmic snare, a test of whether you have the courage to choose your own ascension over emotional attachment. Stand firm, for every entanglement avoided is a victory, a preservation of the purity your soul was designed to carry. September carries the weight of old cycles returning like final exams for the soul. You will notice patterns you thought were closed reopening, conversations repeating with slight variation, memories pressing against your present like shadows, temptations appearing with a familiar smile. These are not coincidences. They are the universe testing whether you have truly learned, whether you can hold your light without flinching, whether you can maintain clarity in the face of familiar chaos. Karmic loops will poach under the guise of opportunity, intimacy, or reconciliation, but do not be deceived. Each resurfacing cycle is a doorway. Will you step back into the same story, or will you rise untethered into the higher vibration you were always meant to inhabit? Some will disguise lessons as relationships, attachments as redemption, and repetitive pain as destiny. This is the trap. The energetic pull may feel magnetic, the emotional gravity irresistible, yet every moment you surrender to old cycles is a moment your ascension is delayed. You may feel guilt, longing, or the illusion of unfinished business. These feelings are the last hurdles before clarity. Know that they are not punishments. They are tests, and you were prepared for them. Long before September arrived, the higher frequency soul responds with discernment, observing, feeling, and choosing to act in alignment rather than reaction. Your body, your intuition, your subtle knowing, these are your guides. When the old cycles surface, do not fear. The loneliness, the discomfort, the sadness. They are signs that separation is necessary. Each choice to maintain your sovereignty, to protect your frequency, is a sacred victory in the unfolding rapture. Remember, the universe favors courage, not comfort. The attacks are subtle, cloaked in warmth, words, and familiarity. September does not bring overt battles. It brings spiritual tests disguised as relationships, invitations, as the very people you thought you could trust. Some connections, though seemingly innocent, are conduits of energy designed to pull you into chaos, doubt, and fear. You may find yourself suddenly drained after conversations that seemed ordinary, haunted by words that cut deeper than any sword, or manipulated into questioning your own intuition. These are not accidents. They're vibrational attacks aimed at destabilizing your alignment. The rapture energy does not tolerate resonance that has not been fully claimed. Those resisting awakening may be unaware of their own influence, but the effect on your field is real and dangerous if ignored. Every misalignment carries karmic consequence. Emotional, spiritual, and sometimes physical. This is why proximity matters more than ever. Do not mistake affection or familiarity for safety. Even the gentlest hands can weigh you down if their energy is not attuned to your frequency. The universe is teaching you discernment at an accelerated pace. This month, every choice to engage, every conversation to continue, every embrace to permit must be filtered through the lens of alignment. The subtle attacks are tests of sovereignty. Can you maintain your light even when the world tries to dim it? Can you walk among familiar souls without letting them tether your ascension? Each yes to separation is a proclamation. Your vibration matters, your path matters, and your soul will not compromise. Trust your instincts. Guard your energy. This is not paranoia. This is survival of the spirit in the crucible of September. The cost of ignoring the call to separation is higher than you have ever imagined. Every moment spent entangled with misaligned energy carries a karmic price. A subtle, invisible debt that your soul accrues with each compromise of your frequency. You may think that staying close to certain people, keeping old patterns alive, or denying your intuition is harmless, but the universe does not allow such shortcuts during this sacred month. Every lapse is recorded in the ledger of your spirit, manifesting as fatigue, confusion, misfortune, or the sudden reappearance of old wounds. The rapture energy acts like a cosmic magnet, pulling the aligned upward and leaving the resistant behind. Those who cling to old ties, who ignore the nudges of discernment, will feel the friction of life intensify, relationships will collapse, opportunities will vanish, and even the air around them will seem thick and unyielding. You, chosen one, are being shown the alternative: freedom, clarity, elevation. But freedom requires courage. It requires the willingness to sever ties, not out of malice, but out of necessity. To walk away from what no longer serves your vibration, and to honor the sacredness of your light. September is merciless in its honesty. Misalignment cannot coexist with ascension. Every act of obedience to your higher self preserves your path. Every act of compromise risks entanglement in karmic cycles that are no longer yours. The universe is not punishing, it is clarifying. Your soul feels the urgency, your body resonates with the warning, and your spirit knows that the separation is unavoidable. Step back, choose wisely, and remember, every choice aligned with your light is a step into the rapture. That is already unfolding. Protecting your frequency is no longer optional. It is a sacred duty. September demands vigilance, presence, and rituals that anchor you to your highest vibration. Each morning, before the world presses in, breathe deeply and reclaim your space. Visualize a golden light encasing your body, your mind, your soul. A shield that repels anything not attuned to your resonance. Cleanse your energy daily, whether through meditation, smudging, or water rituals, and allow the residue of others' heaviness to wash away without guilt. Your physical environment must reflect your inner clarity. Keep your spaces free of clutter, symbols, or objects that no longer serve your ascension. and let light and air flow freely. Guard your attention as carefully as your heart. Scroll selectively, speak deliberately, and engage only with energies that harmonize with your frequency. Recognize the subtle infiltrations, the text that weighs on your spirit, the conversation that leaves your chest tight, the invitation that drains your light. These are not coincidences, they are signals. Honor them with discipline and grace. Walk in alignment even if the world questions your choices, even if loyalty or habit tugs at your edges. Some will call your boundaries cold, your separation cruel, your discernment unnecessary. But remember, the rapture is vibrational, and only those attuned can ascend. Each act of preservation is a sacred affirmation. You are not shirking responsibility. You are choosing life, clarity, and the elevation of your soul. Step boldly, chosen one, for the universe is watching, guiding, and celebrating every measure of fidelity you pay to your own light. Discernment is your most powerful weapon this September. Not every familiar face carries blessing, and not every smile hides malice. The truth lies in the vibration. Pay attention to how you feel in the presence of others. Does your chest expand, your mind clear, your spirit feel lighter? Or do you feel constricted, confused, drained, or restless? These are the markers of resonance. The chosen ones are being called to a radical recalibration of proximity. Some souls will be safe, some temporarily, some permanently. Do not hesitate to step away from those whose energy diminishes you, even if history, love, or obligation tugs at your conscience. Boundaries are sacred, not optional. They are the armor of ascension. Look also for subtle synchronicities. Those aligned with your frequency will appear at the right moment, often unexpectedly, offering guidance, support, or illumination that seems divinely orchestrated. Trust these arrivals. They are your indicators, your allies, your co-creators on higher timelines. Walk in faith, chosen one, for the universe is orchestrating encounters with precision. Every relationship, every conversation, every connection is a thread in the tapestry of your rapture, and only those who honor your light will be woven into your new reality. You are not here by accident. Your intuition is a compass, your body is a radar, and your spirit has already recognized who belongs on this path with you. Step forward with clarity. Step forward with courage. Step forward without fear, knowing that your choices now will define the alignment of your soul for months, years, and lifetimes to come. This is the sacred law of resonance. Proximity is power, and power must be claimed. Walking in faith without fear is now a non-negotiable act of spiritual survival. The rapture energy does not wait for hesitation. It moves through your life like lightning, electrifying the field and separating what hums from what drags. You may feel the temptation to second-guess your choices, to question whether separation is merciful or cruel, to doubt your intuition. Ignore these whispers. Your soul knows the truth, and every step you take in alignment with your higher vibration is an act of cosmic obedience. Begin each day with intention. Call in protection, invite clarity, and proclaim your sovereignty. Visualize a luminous shield surrounding your body, shimmering with light that repels all misaligned energy. Speak affirmations aloud, not as ritual, but as declaration. I belong to the frequency of the light. I honor my ascension. I walk unshakable. Your faith is your anchor, and your fear is the illusion attempting to tether you to timelines that no longer serve your destiny. September amplifies the energy around you. Proximity, choice, attention, add every micro decision matters. Align your body, mind, and spirit with the vibration of those who elevate, enlighten, and harmonize with your purpose. The universe will respond in kind, sending synchronicities, allies, and guidance that confirms your path. Trust the unseen currents. Stand tall. Move with decisiveness. Each choice to honor your light is an acceleration of the rapture already in motion. You are not passive in this cosmic orchestration. You are an active participant, and the cosmos celebrates every courageous alignment you claim. Ritual is no longer a luxury. It is a lifeline, a way to anchor yourself in the shifting currents of September. Begin and end each day with deliberate acts that restore clarity, strengthen sovereignty, and ground your frequency. Light candles or incense, not for ambience, but as beacons that signal your intention to remain untethered from energies that do not belong. Bathe in water infused with salt, herbs, or essential oils, imagining it washing away residual attachments and karmic weight. Move your body, dance, stretch, or walk in nature to realign the energy that gathers in stagnant places. Journal, not to process confusion, but to recognize patterns, honor intuition, and declare your boundaries in ink that carries your soul's authority. Meditate, visualizing a golden grid of light encasing your aura, repelling misaligned energies and amplifying your resonance. Protect your sleep with intentional prayers, crystals, or shields. September intensifies dreams, portents, and dimensional friction, and rest is your sacred replenishment. Avoid energy vampires disguised as obligations or casual conversation. Your no is a holy declaration. Every ritual is a reclaiming of power, a